London Reels, way better idea, sponsored by Xbrain. Every day I come into the studio, there's literally a million things to do. Whether it's booking a guest, taping a show, editing an episode, or trying to pitch that future sponsor. It's hard to know where to begin. So I took a tip from Martin Bjerregaard, our former guest, and I create a today list. It's not a to-do list, but it's those 3 things that you want to get done today. The ones you've been putting off, the phone calls you know you have to make. I focus on those, and I usually find I have a productive one. I hope that works for you. Today's Way Better Idea is brought to you by the guys at Xbrain. If you want to check out their grass-fed, free-range protein powder, you can go to xbrain.co.uk or click on the link below and get 15% off. Use the code LondonReal. Peace. Our guest today is Mr. Kelly Starrett, who is a coach, physical therapist, author, and speaker who has revolutionized how athletes think about human movement and performance. You're the author of the book Supple Leopard, we just spoke about. You read science fiction. You quote Musashi, the Japanese swordsman. You do all sorts of crazy shit. Kelly, welcome to London and welcome to London Real.
Thank you. I'm not leaving.
Really? the show or the city?
Yes, I'm bringing the family over. Best food. I mean, the food has been great. It's interesting that you mentioned finding people. You know, Vonnegut has a concept called the Karasses.
Okay.
And he thinks it's a group of people that God gets together to get work done for him.
Yeah.
And you just you can't explain it. Like, why is this person in my life? I don't know. You've just found your Karass, man.
Yeah, I think so. I've never heard that before, but that's spot on. I've heard that in Celestine Prophecy and all these different books. They mention that type of, you have a group of people that you're supposed to be around. You might have been together in past lives, whatever, and then.
I with Dave Asprey, for example, it's, he was put on this planet to give me this coffee with butter. That's pretty sure.
Yeah. No, it's weird how you say that. Like, we just always been doing London Real, and we have people on we love, and we just throw out all these positive vibes out there, and then I get to meet people like Timothy, get to meet people like Dave, like you, and so yeah, there's something weird about that. Karass, that's
right. Well, okay. When you see waves come together, they multiply, right? It's like a geometric.
Okay.
It's true. I mean, amazing people. We're living in an incredible time.
It's interesting. You're really well read, and you like dropping science fiction references into a lot of your teaching, and it makes you a little different than, I guess, what a lot of people expect to be the two-dimensional, I hate to say it, like fitness guy. You're not that guy. You're thinking about a lot of different concepts in your head. You almost seem like a left brain, right brain conflict. You seem very creative, but very scientific.
He's my type of guy. That's amazing.
Thanks. You should see me dance too. Shake.
Dun, dun, dun.
I think what's amazing is that people have solved so many of the problems that we're trying to solve in our own fields. Recently, there was a TED Talk, and someone was talking about how at the highest levels of innovation now for some of these big companies, the chief scientist is actually the biggest liability, because they're so compartmentalized and so specialized that they can't think, and collaborate across platforms. It's called siloed information.
Okay.
Well, if you see guys like Dave, you've had on your show, and sponsors, and Tim Ferriss, what's happened is that these guys have really done a good job of starting to be super connectors and connect silos of really, really powerful information. And even if, I was on Rogan not so long ago, and Joe has done an amazing job of really kind of curating and bringing extraordinary people and thinking, some strange space sex ideas, I get it, but also maybe this is how we should eat, and this is how we should think, and look at how you're living your life and bring consciousness. And he's done it to a group of people like NASCAR level. I mean, just really made it proletariat, made it accessible. And I think what's happening now is, if you're not, reading widely, if you're not paying attention, then what you miss the opportunity that people have already solved your problem. You're just not thinking kind of collaboratively or thinking about, like, for example, we just had the there's some race about sailing or something that we just won.
America's Cup?
Yeah, go USA. So, but one of the things is that boats only could go about 50 miles an hour, right? It's the top speed because of the cavitation of the wings. Even if they're in these hydrofoils, they only go about 50, which is amazing, right? But the flow around the wing starts to become disconnected. And that's actually one of the same phenomena that we see at speed errors with athletes when they start to go too fast, or they kind of lose disconnection. We start to see cavitation. And it's so interesting that you can take some of these sailing concept metaphors and see that how are people solving these problems, and maybe that's
speed wobbles in skateboarding.
Same.
If you've not got the right wheels and everything on you.
And so you really, to your point, though, I think if you're not paying attention to all of these aspects, and what we're asking people to do for the first time in a long time is be a complete human. You should be thinking about how you think. You should be thinking about how you sleep and how you eat and how you move and what you read. And it's easy to do now. It's not, you don't have to be this esoteric, gatekeeper friend. Like, you just have to listen to a few podcasts and be curious. And TED Radio Hour, good Lord,
Yeah, Joe's. This week on London Real, Max Kaiser is back to talk crowdfunding and George Galloway's run for mayor of London.
Raise a million, X number of thousands of people want this. They want me as mayor. This is the target. And either it's yes or no. It's a binary outcome. It's a serious attempt, again, to disrupt this political process, which everyone agrees is completely corrupted by big business, big corporations. There's the mayor's office, and then there's the mayor's public relations office. And it's a parade all day long of big business, coming through that office, looking to do deals. Boris Johnson's over in China in a helicopter and saying Chinese people come to London. Well, what about all the jobs that ended up going to China?
London Real presents Max Kaiser, crowdfunding.
Let's see what the people want, not what the people are going to be sold through the corruption of the BBC.